Well, folks, we've had a lot of time to plan and improve the course this year, and I was very excited when I read the notice that came out last week, and I'm sure you were too. I managed to assemble a team of John Martin, our superintendent, and Dean Denhart, the chairman of the Greens Committee, to explain exactly what's taken place. So let's turn to the professionals and find out what's happening behind the scenes. It's great that we have an opportunity to take a look inside to see what's happening to not only to the renovations, but also improvements that are taking place. Thanks, John and Dean, for taking the time to explain some of these enhancements. It might be worthwhile, Dean, if you just briefly explain what the role of the Green Committee is.
Hey, Jim, thanks. So basically, the Greens Committee, a lot of people don't really know what it is, but fundamentally, what we do is we're a group of golf members. It's a very diverse group. We have on the team, we have 11 of us, not including John and Jason, who also sit on the committee, but it's a diverse group of golfers from all the various playing groups. So we have the women's 9-holers, 18-holers, we have the men's clubs, the various men's clubs, we have independents, and we have a wide range of golfers from scratch golfers all the way to beginners. And so the whole point of this group is to provide and be a sounding board to John and his team and to advise and make recommendations on what we should be doing to maintain and improve the golf course and all the relative grounds around the golf course. So we initiate and support strategic projects. We help John support changes we want to make or improvements we want to make to the course. And the email that went out this weekend is a good example of that. So this group really is a sounding board for the rest of the membership to figure out and determine what we should be doing around and to maintain the golf course.
Perfect. Okay. I think people have a much better understanding of what's taking place. So let's tackle the first one, which is the pond edge enhancement on number 3. What seems to be the problem that's taking place there, and what are we doing to address it to eliminate that problem?
So we do have an issue with the pond edge failing, especially on the nose of the silver tee on number 3. And as we look around, a lot of it is just starting to fall into the pond itself. So we have to peel that back, maintain the integrity of that bank, and then just replant it, because that's essentially all it is. This process is just going to be peeling back that old sod and the hill itself, smoothing it out, creating a little bit better of a line on that. It's not redesigning it, but it's just filling it in. The contractor's going to be putting a material called socks, which it's exactly what it is. It's a big sock that maintains the integrity of the slopes and the bank, and then that will be planted right on top of that. So that should take about 2 weeks, and it is much needed. We've noticed this bank failing for several years now, and it's only a matter of time. Our irrigation's being impacted by it, and it's not good.
Okay. So while we're doing that construction, we're going to be moving the tee area up so where people can play and not encumber the workers there. But that will free up the black, blue, and silver tees. And I understand that we have some plans to renovate that area. Can you give me a little specifics on that?
So the renovation on the pond edge will obviously impact the surface of the tee. So going back to some of the original architect's design, it's mainly going to be a resurfacing of those two tees, the blue and the silver tee. Right next to that is going to be the black tee. The old nursery behind the black tee is going to go away, and a back tee will be developed behind the existing black tee.
Okay.
Again, just a resurfacing, and we're going to lose a little bit on the silver tee, but it's going to be all pushed back and widened as well.
Okay.
Yeah. So Jim, what we're trying to do is, this is a good example of the Greens Committee working with John and his team. Was, since we were going to do the lake, one of the things we've done is as a greens committee is we've audited the entire golf course. We've looked at all 72 tee boxes, all 73 bunkers, and we said, since the lake's going to be shut down and we have to play from the forward tees anyway, let's take advantage of that time and improve those tee box complexes. So that's what we're doing. That's a good example of the partnership between the greens committee and John and his team.
Okay. So also on number three, I guess we have a lot of work going on number three. We're going to look at the fairway bunkers and improve that, reducing that front edge so they're not as high. During that time, I guess we'll be playing the hole as a par three, and the tee area will be temporary somewhere in the fairway. But maybe you can explain a little bit more detail what the plans are for those bunkers.
So the bunkers are obviously the concern there with some of the bunkers on the golf course is that they're very deep for fairway bunkers.
Mm-hmm.
So over time, we have a lot of buildup on the outside of those bunkers. That is actually going to be lowered. The drainage is going to be repaired inside the bunkers, and then they're going to install the capillary subsurface.
Okay.
So typically in the wintertime, those two bunkers are just bathtubs.
Okay.
Yeah, but let me add some context to that, Jim, because one of the things we did is in our audit is we've looked at all 73 bunkers on the golf course and we've rated them. And one of the things we're trying to do is using number three and then ultimately number one is to improve the way that the fairway bunkers play and take advantage of it. But we all know that the biggest complaint most members have on the golf course would be the consistency of our bunkers. So we've initiated a bunker remediation plan, and we're starting with number three, and we'll also do the fairway bunkers on number one. And based on that, we will then proceed and go through and improve all the bunkers on the course, excepting number 6 and 11, because of course they're relatively new.
Yes.
And they will all be ultimately redone, just like John explained, over the course of the next year and a half. So the goal would be over the next year and a half, by the end of that, we will have all of our bunkers remediated and with new sand, new drainage, and improved play.
Okay, great. Well, as I've been playing the course over the last 2 or 3 weeks, I noticed strangely these big piles of dirt between the fairway on number 5 and number 6. I'm saying, what could that be? I mean, John has lots of places where he can put soil and stuff, but I think it's becoming clearer that that's going to be the new nursery. So maybe you can share what's happening in that area.
So you're right, Jim, that will be the site of the new nursery. We had to choose a location that is obviously well exposed, get enough sunlight, and is out of the main playing areas. The existing nursery was just that. I think it was an eyesore just sticking out there. And it wasn't really large enough. So that will be developed into a 2,500 square foot
Wow.
bent grass and 2,500 square feet of ryegrass.
Okay.
To do any of the repairs that we have to do on the golf course. Really essential that any golf course has on-site sod we can pull from. So that soil actually came from some of the spoils of the new renovated restroom site on 4T.
Okay.
There'll be additional spoils from the pond on 3, the edge they're put there as well. So that will be shaped up as soon as number 3 bunker is done.
Okay. And we'll really have to refresh the rules on if I get on those greens, because they do look like greens, not to hit off of them. So that's in a later podcast.
It's quite a shot, Jim.
That would be.
Now I don't get there anymore, but that was my problem a long time ago. What specific changes are going to be made to hole number 1 bunker complex? I know that we have some things in mind, so maybe you can share that.
So just as number 3, the forward edge of that bunker will be lowered, and the bottom of the bunker may even be raised a bit. We also have some mound softening that's in that same area of those bunkers. We've got those mounds that really are They just have to be smoothed out in terms of making it more practical to mow in those areas. We're not enhancing anything there. We're just softening the mounds, and that'll all be returfed at the same time.
So that's in the rough area where you're going to
Correct.
kind of shape.
Yeah, hey, Jim. So one of the things that's really important, what John just said, is we've working with John and the Greens Committee, we've done a lot of thinking. We have a very robust plan for this year of things we want to do to improve the overall maintenance of the golf course. And what we try to do is slot these scenes with the goal of minimizing the impact on play.
Mm-hmm.
And so 3 is probably the most extreme we have for the year in terms of what we're trying to do with the minimum, going to a shortened par 4 in a par 3. But it's important to note that even the changes on 1 will be temporary in nature. I mean, we'll probably be down when I say down, they won't be able to be used for a week.
Okay.
And then those bunkers might be ground under repair for a period of time. But it's not as if the hole or multiple holes are shut down for any length of time. And we also looked really careful at how to slot these things so whether we minimize the impact on major events, whether it's the Invitational or the Club Championship or any of those kinds of things. But it's virtually impossible, given the calendar that we have at Round Hill, not to impact something. But we've tried to be very careful about how to slot these things and how to minimize that impact, and also take advantage of the growing season we have in the summer versus trying to do these things in the winter. And so John and I have spent a lot of time going back and forth on what's the right way to do this. And so what we put together is this plan. And it's important to note, because I've been asked multiple times, we didn't do this in a vacuum. We worked on it, as you well know. We shared it with the golf committee twice. I think we shared it in February as a preview and reconfirmed it back in May. And so there's been a lot of work and communications to say, this is what we're doing, this is why we're doing it, this is how we're doing it, and this is the potential impacts on playability of the golf course.
Great. Just to reflect back on number 3, when we play it as a par 3, I think Jason is working with NCGA to get a different rating on that hole temporarily. So
correct.
So the next area to look at is hole number 8, that tee complex. What is the plan to make changes on that complex?
That was mainly widening, or I should say, pushing back a portion of that black tee.
Okay.
And that's low impact there.
Okay.
Again, it's going to be a resurfacing of the tee as well.
Yeah, if you notice for those that play the black tee on 8, it actually is uneven, especially when you're facing the fairway down on the back, front left, it kind of dips down. So we're taking an opportunity to start remediating and improving some of the tee complexes as budget and timing allow without impact on play.
Okay. And the final area is on the bunker complex on hole 15. I think we're going back in history and redoing what we used to have back there, but maybe you can share with the group what the plan is for that complex.
Okay, well, first of all, the timing on 15, that's going to be a standalone as far as that goes in terms of when the contractor is going to get there. So on 15, the bunkers on the left-hand side, 3 of those bunkers, the 3 right bunkers on the left side will be eliminated, and a grass swale and front, not a false front, but something that was part of the history of the club in the past to protect that green. That will all be regrassed, and again, the bunker will be reworked as well.
Great. Okay, good. And all of these activities that we're planning are all part of the budget for renovations of the course.
Correct.
Okay.
Let me expand on that briefly. So one of the things we did with John is we worked out what the budget would be for this year, presented it to the board, got approval, and this is all within the current operating and capital budgets of Round Hill. One more thing we've done is we've also put together a 5-year capital plan based on what we think we want to do over the next couple of years, including bunker remediations, tee box improvements, etc. All of those items, we've been working with our liaisons from the finance committee as well. And what we're trying to do is figure out how to do all the improvements we want to do around playability, aesthetics, and safety related items without any impact to the membership in terms of increased fees. And so throw that one out the window. We're not doing that. It's trying to figure out how to work within the operating and capital budgets we have currently within Roundhill.
Great. Well, appreciate it and thank you very much. Dean, maybe you can just comment on what the membership can do during this period.
Thanks, Jim. Yeah, I think a couple things. One is the Greens Committee is made up of representatives of the members. And so we are always looking for new members. We also have a meeting once a month. I welcome anybody that wants to sit in and see what we do. Just reach out to me. You're more than welcome to be invited. It's not secret. We're open. We'd love to share. We do meeting minutes every month. If you want to see them, you can. And then the most important thing we can do as the membership is respect the golf course. Is follow the rules, sand the divots, fix green marks, rake bunkers correctly, do the things that are necessary to make sure that Roundhill continues to operate at the highest level possible.
Great. Thank you very much, Dean. John, I appreciate your taking the time, and I'm sure the membership will enjoy this session.
I would like to just share with you that John and his team are absolutely outstanding to work with. And I hear it from everybody. And so I'm just telling John in front of you, in front of everybody that watches this, those guys are fantastic. They're responsive, they're supportive, they're open to ideas and suggestions. So I just wanted to thank them for their work.
Yeah, and I reiterate that too. It's we get very positive feedback on what the entire team done. So please share that with your group, your team, John.
I will.
Alrighty. Thanks again. Now, don't forget to send me those questions. That makes this podcast go. So remember, send them to this email address right up here. Thanks again for your help. Or you can add your questions below in the comment field. And don't forget to give me some likes.